If you pull into a truck stop tonight, the same big chain you've seen 1,000 miles ago, the lot is full, the lights are bright, the diesel islands are humming. But if you've been running these roads 20, 30, 40 years, you aren't looking at what's there. You're looking at what's gone. The ghost of the place that used to stand here, layered right over the bright plastic sign. Tonight, we're counting down 8 things that vanished from American truck stops. Forget the old buildings and the neon. We're talking about the things that made a stop feel like a safe place for a working driver. We're going from 8 to 1, from the mild to the hard hit. And this list is the real one. Anybody can read you a list of happy memories. We dug into company records, federal rules, driver reports, and the veterans who've been passing this down for 50 years. The number one spot on this list isn't nostalgia. It is a dollar figure that hits your wallet tonight. The one thing that used to be free at every lot in America now costs a driver over $4,000 a year on the exact same asphalt. Let's get into it. Number 8, we'll start mild because most of you running tonight won't even remember this one. But it was the tool that told you where everything else on this list was. Long before a GPS blinked on your dash, the foundation of the driver's map was a very thick book in the bunk. The National Truck Stop Directory, 6,700 big rig fueling locations across the US and Canada, listed in interstate exit order. You'd flip through the pages to see what waited at exit 52. You'd plan your whole night and never once worry about a dead signal. The 2017 edition was the last one ever printed. That book gave you the feeling you knew the country completely. It was replaced by a battery that dies in a canyon. Number 7, that book told you where to stop. Once you got there, the first thing you did was walk inside to call home. And you did it on something else that's completely gone, the wall of payphones. A row of steel boxes on the wall, and one right at the booth in the driver's section, a separate lounge for truckers. You'd see a line of drivers waiting their turn, a pocket full of quarters. There was this understanding that everybody out here was somebody's missing husband or dad. Veterans will tell you a few stops still have the dead phone jacks in the old booths. They're ghost outlets where a phone line used to be. The cell phone is a better tool, but it killed the one place on the lot where we were all the same thing, just someone calling home. Number 6, from one way of talking to another. That phone on the wall was how you reached home. This next one was how the whole lot talked to each other. Walk onto a truck stop lot in 1985, and the air was alive. The chatter of CB radios, especially Channel 19, the truckers' channel. You'd hear bear reports, that's police sightings, directions, and company. And inside, there was a CB shop with a technician, often ex-military, tuning radios and matching antennas. The lot itself was a town square. Today, the CB shop is a fast food restaurant, and the silence on that lot is heavy. 100 drivers sit in dark cabs, 3 feet apart, staring at phones. You don't hear the road anymore, you just drive through it. Number 5, a lot of the chatter on that old Channel 19 was about the craft of the job. And the core of that craft, for 50 years, was a piece of paper and a number 2 pencil. The paper logbook, 4 lines. Off duty, sleeper berth, driving. On duty, not driving. That's time resting in the bunk. You managed your own clock with your own math. That felt like freedom, but it was also a little extra time, enough to grab a sit-down meal. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the agency that writes the rules for trucking, ended that on December 18, 2017. The electronic logging device mandate took the pencil out of your hand and put a black box in your cab that watches every minute, and that same little black box is about to show up again, a few numbers from now, because it didn't just kill the paper log, it killed the dinner. Number 4, that ELD box, the electronic logging device, was the first big change. It changed federal law and the clock on your dash. But other things vanished for a simpler, colder reason. A chain looked at a room you loved and asked, "Does this square foot sell diesel?" Take the truck stop movie theater. It used to be a place to escape the truck for 2 hours on a 34-hour reset. That's the mandatory off-duty stretch. You'd sit in a real seat in a dark room with other drivers and feel human. Iowa 80 in Walcott, Iowa, still runs a theater on its 3rd floor. Jubit's in Portland, Oregon has its own cinema, but Those are rare exceptions. The chain logic was simple. Every driver now carries a screen in his pocket, so a movie room is just floor space to turn into money. The reset used to give you a couple hours of ordinary life. Now the reset happens alone, in the same 4-foot box you just drove 600 miles in. Hold on to that image, a place to breathe. We're about to get into the soul of the truck stop. That movie theater at Iowa 80 is one of those things you don't believe until you see it. So here's my question for you right now. What's the one truck stop extra you found out on the road that genuinely surprised you? Something that made you stop and smile? Drop it in the comments. That's how I'll know who actually made it this deep into the video. And if you're getting something out of this, hit that subscribe button. It keeps the lights on and the stories coming. Let's get back to the countdown. Number 3. All right, we're into the serious ones now. It's one thing to lose a theater. It's another to lose the one room on the lot where you were expected. The sit-down restaurant and the waitress who knew your order. A driver 2 weeks from his own kitchen table needs one hot human meal in a 14-hour day. The road used to guarantee him a booth, endless coffee, and a waitress who didn't ask. She just grabbed the pot and called him by name. That was the closest thing to your own kitchen, and no shame in admitting it. It died from 2 changes. Change 1 was that same ELD mandate. When every minute counted, there was no room for a 45-minute booth meal. Change 2, COVID-19. By November 2020, the truck stop chain Travel Centers of America had roughly 80 of its Iron Skillet and Country Pride restaurants listed as closed. As driver Kevin Temmer put it, a proper sit-down meal is a return to some level of normal. The ELD took the time, and the pandemic locked the door. Number 2, that waitress was the soul. This next one was the quiet, the one corner of the lot that saw a driver as a human being, not a wallet. The chapel and the driver's lounge, Transport for Christ, now called TFC Global, placed permanent chapels right in the lots. The first one parked near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in 1986. At the peak, up to 42 truck stop locations had a chapel or held worship in the driver's lounge. It was just a room with a few chairs, a window, nothing for sale, a place to be still. That number has come down from the peak as chains squeezed profits from every square foot. Quiet doesn't show up on a profit report, and that's the corner a profit report cuts first. Number 1, every loss so far has been about the spirit of the place. This last one is strictly the pavement under your tires tonight. Remember that $4,000 number from the start? Here it is. Free overnight parking. The unwritten deal was simple. You fuel, you sleep. That deal got broken, and the chains are now selling parking back to you on the same asphalt. Travel Centers of America launched Reserve It paid parking in October 2012. By November, there were 48 sites. By the end of the year, 74. The other big truck stop chain, Pilot Flying J, followed with prime parking, now at more than 350 travel centers. A driver's petition ran the math. Reserved spots grew from 5% to almost 30% of the lot. That's at $15 a night or more. A driver who needs a spot 6 nights a week faces roughly $4,300 a year. Those numbers add up fast. Let that settle for a second. Meanwhile, the shortage is severe. Roughly 1 truck parking space for every 11 drivers who need one. That's not a small problem. 98% of drivers report trouble finding safe parking. The American Transportation Research Institute is the industry's own research arm. It has ranked this as high as the number 2 concern in all of trucking. Picture a tired driver, clock running down, circling a lot where the only open spots have a reserved sign and a price tag. He either pays or parks on a dark ramp shoulder that was never built for it. The most basic thing the road owes a tired driver is a guaranteed, no-charge place to legally sleep. That has been turned into a product, sold back to you on lots owned by 3 corporations. Run the whole list back, and there were really only 2 causes: a chain's accounting or a federal rule. Technology gets the blame, but technology just handed them the excuse. The independents got bought. 1,018 chain truck stops to 598 independents back in 2008. Then BP bought Travel Centers of America and Petro, the truck stop chains, in 2023, and Berkshire Hathaway took all of Pilot Flying J in 2024. 3 companies now decide what a truck stop is. Every single thing on this list was a way the road treated a driver like a professional instead of a transaction. The fuel, the food, the shower, the spot to sleep, it all used to come with the job. The drivers still hauling this country deserve a lot more of that than they get. So now it's your turn. What's the thing you remember from a truck stop that's gone now? The extra, the stop, the person. Give me the name, the town, the highway. We read every single comment, and the best ones become the next video, credited to you on camera. And if you want to see your name in the next one, hit that subscribe button. It costs much, much less than a reserved parking spot. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up.